last year Rasananda Sankirtan was the top book distiller. And Harini was second last year. But she was only with us for like 2/3 of the time. So let's see what this year brings. To do the equivalent of last year, we'd have to do about 1,000 book points a day. Last day we did 400. First day's not bad. I remember first marathon, we reinstigated the marathon 7 years ago now, here in Paris. 7 or maybe even 8 now. Yeah, this is the 8th marathon. 17 we had the first one, so this is the 8th. And on the first day, we were very excited. We did 30 book points between us all. A big day. You were at Mayapur then, and Vivatananda was Remy, living somewhere near Nancy. And on that marathon, we went, Nataya Sachi Sutta, myself, and Tim, Krishna, we were the mainstay besides the Charya of the book marathon. And we went to Nancy on Sankirtan. We met him in Nancy. He's already practicing with. We go to the centre in Metz. And we went to Metz and Luxembourg and Nancy and a few places up there. Big days, 5 guitars and things like that. That's Nancy, that's where Vivatananda distributed his first book. He came out with us on Harinam. We were doing books, but it was so good we decided to do Harinam instead. We were doing so well. We thought, let's do Harinam instead. This is too good for book distribution. I think I did one book in about 5 hours or something. 4 hours. I wouldn't, obviously it's not like that always. We've seen that Jad and Alison have done huge numbers of books in Nancy. That day, it didn't click. So, Remy came, we had a Harinam, really liked the Harinam. And then he tried to do a book, he distributed one book. Yeah, I think that was his first book he distributed, his Nancy. And now he's dedicated devotee, teaching Krishna consciousness to others, distributing Krishna consciousness. Very nice. So we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the chapter of Lord Chaitanya, trunk of Lord Chaitanya tree and various sub-branches. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Vita Chadra Jai Gauranga. On the point of branches, and here we're hearing names of devotees. Maybe I mentioned yesterday, I don't know. But Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj would sometimes say that we should beat our minds 100 times in the morning with a shoe and 100 times at night with a stick. So what that means is when you rise in the morning, I have a beautiful song which you need to learn. It's the song which you said you should sing when you get up in the morning. Beat your mind. It's surprising. It's just a long song glorifying all the various associates of Lord Chaitanya. It means, in other words, we should take shelter of the associates of Lord Chaitanya when we wake up and remember them. That's how you beat the mind in the morning, by remembering the pure devotees of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in relation to that, this year we may or may not be able to approach last year's total book distribution. We'll see what mercy bestows upon us. At the moment our quotas don't seem to indicate that we're going to get very close. But we have a couple of, 3 in fact, we have 3, what do we call them? Dark horses, which may be approaching Paris very shortly. Is that right? You know one of them, don't you?
No.
I think you said from London, one dark horse may be coming. She's not coming.
Dora.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's in with Alison right now in France.
She's with who?
Alison.
Oh, she's in Nancy.
Yeah.
Is she coming here?
Alison, no, just Dora.
Just so that King Dora, who's now Devi Shakti, wants to come here to distribute books during the marathon.
Just few days.
Huh?
Few days.
A few days.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, a few days is better than no days. And then I won't mention yet until it actually happens, but another big, Maharati book distributor may be arriving shortly, together with her dynamic partner. So they may also be coming to distribute books in Paris, so that might uplift. Let's see what Krishna arranges. I also got a letter yesterday from one American devotee he says he's a full-time book distributor. He wants to come to Paris for a few months and distribute books in Paris. So I'll talk to you about that a little later. You can contact him. He was an American devotee. He lives in America. He's a full-time book distributor. He wants to come to Paris to distribute books for a few months. I don't know. He just wrote yesterday. Just replied to him yesterday. So, let's see, that's not for the marathon. So remember in the period of devotees of the Lord, remember the devotees who were part of that tree of Lord Chaitanya, all the devotees in this movement are part of that tree. We may not be major branches, maybe little twigs. We all have our part to play in serving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And yesterday, I just finished off yesterday's verse, text 636. Narayan Pandit, this is the purport, was one of the associates of Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur, of course, renowned amongst the Lord Chaitanya's associates, Panchatatma, but especially for facilitating and indulging in the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. That was basically it. As Prabhupada said, his movement started from Tompkins Square Park practically when the holy name was certainly made public. So the holy name, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started spreading the holy name after initiation. And one of the key places from which you can say the sanctum was going out was Srivasangam, the home of Srivas Thakur. Every night they would have all-night kirtan. During the day they go out from there on Harinam, all over Navadvip. So he was associate of Srivas Thakur. He's mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat that he went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri with Srivas Thakur's brother, Sri Ram Pandit. Next verse. So this is text 37. We can chant at the same time. All together. Srimad Pandita Shakha Prabhura Nija Vidya Nuti Lavena Jave Prabhu Karina Vidya. The 15th branch was Srimad Pandit, who was a constant servitor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to carry a torch while the Lord danced. Not quite the same as the torches that we use nowadays. It wasn't a mobile torch or one of had a ready torch or whatever. It was like a, flame. Flame. Actual flame. Maybe with some oil. And he would always be there with his torch. Next, purport. No. Next verse, all together. Shuklam Bara Brahmachari Bara Bhagyavan Janna Anamali Kadi Kaila Bhagavan. The 16th branch, Shuklambar Brahmachari, was very fortunate because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly or seriously begged food from him, or sometimes snatched it from him forcibly and ate it. Therefore, it is stated that Shuklambar Brahmachari, an inhabitant of Navadvip, was Lord Chaitanya's first companion in the Sankirtan movement. Amazing, huh? Shuklambar Brahmachari, Lord Chaitanya's first companion when he started the Sankirtan. When Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya after initiation, he stayed with Shuklambar Brahmachari because he wanted to hear from this devotee about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Shuklambar Brahmachari collected alms of rice from the inhabitants of Navadvip, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took pleasure in eating the rice that he cooked. It is said that Shuklambar Brahmachari was one of the wives of the Yogic Brahmanas during the time of Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Lord Krishna begged foodstuffs from the wives of the Yogic Brahmanas, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed a similar pastime by begging rice from Shuklambar Brahmachari. This is known to most of you, of course, that the associates of Supreme Lord, His eternal Nitya Siddha associates, they're not actually Tatastha. We're known as Tatastha Shakti, we're marginal living entities. There are other, you could say, jivas, individual living entities who are of the internal potency. They never come under the influence of the material energy. There's no trace of aversion to Krishna in their existence. The Tatastha Shakti, or the ordinary jivas, have a free will tendency to be affectionate or averse towards the Lord. But the Shakti Tattva, the internal energy, or the devotees in that internal energy, they have no such tendency. Their only tendency is favorable to the Lord. They can't even conceive of something outside of that. So he has his eternal associates, Lord, in the various relationships, in the various moods. And when the Lord expands, if needs be, those particular associates also expand. They're expansions of the Lord in the first place, for the sake of bringing him pleasure. They're all like personifications of various devotional qualities or various personality traits to facilitate the Leela, or the Lord's pleasure pastimes. So when the Lord expands into Ramachandra and Sringadev, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not expansion exactly, but you get the point that those internal associates of the Lord, those Nitya Siddhas, they also expand if needs be. Maybe sometimes the different, even in the same personality, more than one of those internal associates appear in the same personality in another Leela, because that particular need requires more than one just character trait, or a certain variety of character traits, which is quite often. So all these associates mentioned here are eternal associates of the Lord. And when they expand into the Lord's pastimes, in this case as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one of the wives of the Yogic Brahmins is now Shuklambar Brahmachari. When they expand, it doesn't mean that they're no longer the other one. They're still, he's still a wife of the Yogic Brahmins, or whatever they may be, in relation with Krishna, but when Krishna expands, they also expand. It's not that they be, it's not like an ordinary person, you give up one body and accept another. Tatastha Shakti is in the conditioned world like that, but not the eternal associates. They can simultaneously be at all the pastimes of the Lord, if the Lord needs their particular presence in his pastimes. And They come for various reasons, sometimes just to teach, sometimes just to participate in the Lord's pastimes, to show an example of how to come from a Nitya Buddha state, conditioned state, to a liberated state. And that process is, of course, by associating with such devotees, associating with whatever objects or persons in this world, one develops a certain type of nature. Similarly, by associating with certain types of devotees, one will develop a certain attraction towards the Lord. Or one will be affected at least by that association. The great devotees come into this world to give their association, not just to accompany the Lord in his pastimes, but to afford or to give their association to conditioned souls. So by their association, conditioned souls can be transformed and realize their spiritual identity and begin to act in a Krishna conscious way. Whether the Lord or his associates appear, they appear for the welfare of the conditioned souls. And we simply have to take that opportunity by association with such great devotees, with eternal associates. That's how the devotional spirit is awoken in the association of devotees. Okay, we'll read on. Text number 39. Nanda Chaya Shaka Tukate Viditana Lukaya Dui Prabhude Nanda Acharya, the 17th branch of the Chaitanya tree, is celebrated within this world because the two Prabhus, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, sometimes hid in his house. They all have their different unique natures for various reasons. In this case, he was providing a hiding place, and Nandacharya would provide a hiding place for the Lord sometimes when he didn't want to be found. Purport. Nandacharya was another companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his kirtan pastimes in Navadvip. Srila Nityananda Prabhu, as Avadut, traveled on many pilgrimages, and when he first came to Sri Navadvip Dham, he remained hidden in the house of Nandacharya. It is there that he first met all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his Mahaprakash, he asked for my Pandit to call Advaita Prabhu, who was hiding in the house of Nandacharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that his hiding was, could understand that he was hiding. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya also sometimes hid in the home of Nandacharya. In this connection, one may refer to Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Lila, chapter 6 and 17. Some description there of Nandacharya and his pastimes with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Nityananda came, nobody could find him. Lord Chaitanya sent devotees out to search for Nityananda, but nobody could find him. Lord Chaitanya himself went to the house of Nandacharya to reveal Nityananda to all the devotees. They'd never seen him before because Lord Nityananda had left home. It was 12 years, appeared 12 years before Lord Chaitanya residing, appeared in Ekachakra quite a distance from Navadvip. And when Lord Chaitanya appeared, young man he was, 12 years of age, but he roared like thunder when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. It just made a tremendous roaring sound. And shortly after that he left home and went on pilgrimage. And he only returned to Bengal He only returned to Bengal when Lord Chaitanya started his Sankirtan. He was not privy of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes up until Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya. He was on pilgrimage throughout India, and mostly he was staying in Vrindavan, acting as Carol's boyfriend at pastimes in Vrindavan. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back from Gaya and started his Sankirtan, Lord Nityananda immediately returned to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srivas Thakur and others in the Sankirtan. And they met. Lord Chaitanya went to the house of Nandanacharya, taking all his devotees with him, and then they saw each other for the first time, you could say, from relative perspective, if that's the right word. They'd never been together directly, so to speak. And Lord Nityananda had been in Pandharpur also. Pandharpur in Maharashtra, with Chandrabhaga, with Bhima. In one town called Pandharpur, Lokanath. Williams Lokanath Maharaj has his center there, main preaching center, temple, big temple, very big, on the bank of the river. So there Lord Nityananda had gone, and the guys, an excuse of searching out, he went on the request of one sadhu who came to Ekachakra and took him away, but he went there to Pandharpur, and there he left his body. Who are we talking about? No, excuse me. I'll backtrack. Lord Nityananda went there, a little tired, so thoughts are getting jumbled over each other here. Lord Chaitanya's brother, Vishvarup, had gone away, taken sannyas. When his parents were starting to plan for his married life, he decided he didn't want to get married. So he left home, went away, and took sannyas. Young man. And he was living in Pandharpur. It was in Pandharpur that Vishvarup left his body. So later on, when Nityananda went there, at the time there's no historical reference point, but they said that Vishvarup basically entered into the form of Lord Nityananda. They're not different. Vishvarup is an expansion of Nityananda. So we entered back into his original form, Nityananda. And one and the same. So actually Nityananda is actually the brother of Lord Chaitanya. They're not just like brothers, they're actually brothers. Although, from one point of view, born in different places with different parents, but in the form of Vishvarup, he's actually the brother of Lord Chaitanya. So he stayed there in Pandharpur for some time, associated with Madhavendra Puri, and Nityananda went to Vrindavan. Then came to Navadvip upon the awakening of the Sankirtan movement, and then was the ecstatic meeting in the house of Nandanacharya between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda took place. Brothers meeting, in one sense for the first time, in another sense for a long time, whichever way you look at it. An ecstatic union. This is one. Another way we could look at it, the Lord is hidden within our hearts. And only when, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, can we understand. We have to go through Lord Nityananda. He's the gateway to pure devotional service. So he appeared to make that available to all living entities in the world, to make that gateway to pure devotion available. Wonderful form, and performing Sankirtan as well as being the Adiguru, the original guru for all living entities, guiding them on the path to pure bhakti. So nice. Nandanacharya, every one of them are eternal associates, and they all have their little parts to play. Oh, thank you. We try to follow in the footsteps of these devotees. So we can't imitate, but we try to follow, hear about them, by hearing about them, we can become purified and hopefully cement our connection with the branches of Lord Chaitanya's tree. This tree is not an ordinary tree. We can read in the 7th chapter how, no, 9th chapter, 8th, 9th chapter, how Lord Chaitanya is the only gardener, and how he's appealing to everyone to please help me to distribute these fruits. How can I alone perform this act? Appealing to everyone, come forward. Take this fruit and distribute it. The more you distribute, the more you'll taste the fruit. Not like a material thing, if you give it away, you don't have it anymore. You have a mango and you give it away, you don't have a mango anymore. And you may regret that you gave it away. Or your money. You can see how much people are attached to their money. They don't want to give it away, they think it's theirs. They've got their motives. But the more you distribute Krishna consciousness, genuine Krishna consciousness, the more you get. The beauty of spiritual life, it's ever increasing. The more you take it, the more you give it, the more you give it, the more you get. Then you've got more to give. That's the spirit. Nature's spirit. So devotees are trying to follow in that mood of giving Krishna consciousness to others through different methods. There's opportunity which we will have to be a part of that. So that Lord hidden in the hearts of all the living entities may start to slowly reveal himself. He's not going to reveal himself to anyone unless we're pure in heart. But as we slowly become purified of our illusions, various coverings around the pure soul, various false identities, various false attachments that we have, etc. Gradually becoming purified by associating with devotees of the Lord. We hear about them serving their, following their footsteps, following their instructions, basically. We try to follow their instructions. They want us to preach. Krishna wanted us to preach. Lord Chaitanya ordered us to preach. Bhaktisiddhanta ordered us to preach. The Prabhupada requested us to preach. Everyone of the acharyas wants to see this message spread far and near, from Radharani down. Everyone wants to see their Lord is glorified. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of this Christmas marathon period. Try to be a part of distributing Prabhupada's books, books of the Lord, books which will give the conditioned souls as a beginning or the opportunity to grow in their devotional service. Okay, we'll read one more verse and then we'll probably have to knock off. Text number 40, is that right? Correct? Shri Mukunda Data Shaka Prabhura Samadhyai Janhara Kirtane Nache Chaitanya Goswami. What form do you have the database there? You've actually got the real database.
Yes, a separate I installed it.
Good. Otherwise on mine it's not so easy.
No.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Reasonable purport. Mukunda Datta, a class friend of Lord Chaitanya's, was another branch of Chaitanya tree. Lord Chaitanya danced what he sang. Purport. Sri Mukunda Datta was born in Chattogram district in the village of Chanhora, which is under the jurisdiction of the police station named Patiya. This village is situated 10 kroshas or about 20 miles from the home of Pundarik Vijayanidhi. Pundarik Vijayanidhi this gene. It doesn't mention any more about him as far as I can see. Is very famous. We have one temple in Bangladesh called Pundarik Dham. It's near Chittagong. And there is a beautiful temple, beautiful community project there. Govardhan Hill where the Kunshampur. It's a really sublime place. I've been there for a while, but even 30, 40 years ago it was beautiful. I'm sure it's gorgeous now. And that's the home base, the home place of Pundarik Vijayanidhi. Temple was acquired by ISKCON. But this temple president of that temple had just been arrested by the Bangladesh government for God knows what reason. And they've got some issues right now there. And anyway, and this is that place. So it's in Bangladesh where he appeared. This village, in the Gorganadesh Deepika it is said, Bhajistito Gayako Yo Mukund Madhu Kanta Madhu Vito Mukunda Vasudevo To Doto Goranga Gayako. How? Although almost every word is ending with AU, ow. Almost every word. I think only 2 words are. In Braj there were 2 very nice singers named Madhukanta and Madhuvrata. They appeared in Chaitanya Lila as Mukunda and Vasudev Datta, who were singers in the Society of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Chaitanya was a student, Mukunda Datta was his class friend, and they frequently engaged in logical arguments. Well, if he was born in Chattakram, then presumably his family moved to Navadvip. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya would fight with Mukunda Datta, using tricks of logic. This is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Leela chapter 7 and 8. And Lord Chaitanya would taunt him, he would crack jokes and tease him in so many ways. They had such a relationship. When Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya, Mukunda Datta gave him pleasure by reciting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna Leela. It was by his endeavour that Gadadhar Pandit Goswami became a disciple of Pundarik Vijayanidhi, as stated in Madhya Leela chapter 7, as a very famous pastime of Gadadhar Pandit accepting, even in the presence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit took initiation from Pundarik Vijayanidhi. Not everyone took. There's no formal initiation necessarily in the case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes there appears to be something more formal, like that with Gadadhar Pandit and Pundarik Vijayanidhi. He chose an auspicious time for the ceremony of initiation to take place. There's no mention of Lord Chaitanya bestowing such form of initiation. It was a matter of acceptance of the Lord in his life and soul, following his instruction. When Mukunda Datta sang in the courtyard of Srivas Prabhu, Mahaprabhu danced with his singing, and when Lord Chaitanya for 21 hours exhibited an ecstatic manifestation known as Sataprahariya, Mukunda Datta inaugurated the function by singing. He was a very wonderful singer. Throughout the night in Shiva Sangam, he would be one of the singers. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Mukunda Datta by calling him Karjatiya Beta, because he attended many functions held by different classes of non-devotees. This is stated in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Leela chapter 10. When Lord Chaitanya dressed himself as the goddess of fortune to dance in the house of Chandrasekhar, Mukunda Datta began the first song. Lord Chaitanya chastised him, as you may know. It was understood that Mukunda Datta was sometimes attending programs with persons who were not pure devotees. They may have been tinged with Mayavad or Satya or something like that. So when Lord Chaitanya heard about this going on with his devotee Mukunda Datta, he became very angry. And he banned Mukunda Datta from his association. He wasn't allowed to come into his association. He's like a prostitute. He's going here and there. Wherever he gets what he wants, he goes here and there. When you're with Vaishnavas, he behaves like a Vaishnava. When you're with Shaivites, he behaves like a Shaivite. When you're with Mayavadi, like a Mayavadi, and so on. So Lord Chaitanya was not happy with him. Say, he was happy, but it appeared he was not happy. So he banned him. And the devotee wondered, why, my Lord? Mukunda Datta is so nice devotee and he's such a wonderful kirtan leader. Why are you banning him? Lord Chaitanya explained what was going on. I thought this was very harsh punishment. So the devotees were obviously meeting with Mukunda Datta, and Mukunda Datta asked, would it ever be possible for me to again get the Lord's associations? The devotees asked Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, yes, it's possible after 10 million lifetimes. Only 10 million lifetimes, not very long. You can imagine what that's like. So then they told Mukunda Datta, who said, is it ever going to be possible for me? And they said, well, Lord Chaitanya, they were all kind of thinking, wow, this is terrible. 10 million lifetimes. How can we tell Mukunda Datta this is terrible? But he kind of insisted he wanted to know, so he said that what they said. Mukunda Datta started dancing in ecstasy. Oh, my Lord is so merciful. After only 10 million lifetimes, we'll get his association. When Lord Chaitanya heard that, he immediately said, call him here immediately. Not just a question of relative time, but a state of consciousness in the heart. Completely surrender to Lord Chaitanya. All Lord Chaitanya's plans, so like that. Before disclosing his desire to take the renounced order of life, Lord Chaitanya first went to the house of Mukunda Datta. At that time, Mukunda Datta requested Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue his Sankirtan movement for a few days more before taking sannyas. He's the one who convinced the Lord to stay a little longer. This information of Lord Chaitanya's accepting the renounced order was made known to Gadadhar Pandit, Chandrasekhar and Mukunda Datta by Nityananda Prabhu. Therefore all of them went to Katwa and arranged for kirtan and all the paraphernalia for Lord Chaitanya's acceptance of sannyas. So Mukunda Datta was one of the few associates who went with Lord Chaitanya to Katwa to receive sannyas from Keshwar Bharati. Keshwar Bharati. After the Lord took sannyas, they all followed him, especially Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit and Govinda, who followed him all the way to Purushottam Kshetra. In this connection, one may refer to Antya-lila chapter 2. In the place known as Jaleshwar, Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas vow of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukunda Datta was also present at that time. He went every year from Bengal to see Lord Chaitanya at Jagannath Puri. Hare Krishna. Nectar. Any comments or questions? plans are, but it is Sunday. Not much sun at the moment, but hopefully it won't snow or rain, whatever it's supposed to do.
So one question
Yes.
to ask. So, at the test of time, how do you use the Krishna consciousness to pass the test of time?
Test Krishna consciousness to pass the test of time. Well, there's different ways of looking at every question, no matter what the question is, depending on the level of consciousness or our present state of perception, our present state of consciousness. So our present state of consciousness is governed by time. On the spiritual realized platform, there is no time. Krishna consciousness is the eternal principle. So your question is really related to you could say, the realm where time is having its effect of beginning, middle, and end, which is basically the world that we perceive. We may relate to it or not, but we perceive. So how does it pass the test of time? Well, first of all, we understand one thing, is that time is an expansion of the Lord. It's not an independent energy which is, in one sense, competitor to the Lord's will. It is a form of the Lord enacting the necessary dues of this world, be in the form of karma and various bodies that living entities take. So it so happens that this age of Kali is, generally speaking, a very materialistic age. It's not an age where spirituality is very prominent. There are certain little pockets and certain level of spirituality maybe there, at least at a certain point in time. It's said that after a certain point in time there'll be barely and no trace of even Nimittaka Dharma or even materialistic religion, what to speak of Sanatana Dharma. So right now it's 5,000 or 6,000 years into Kali Yuga. Approximately 530 years ago, or 40 years ago, Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to inaugurate the Yuga Dharma, the loud chanting of the holy name in public. This method is liberating process to this age. So we are only instrumental. We're not like in a position physically or mentally or any way to enforce Krishna consciousness on others. We try our best to share it, to distribute it, to practice it. It's not within our power, although the way may feel concerned about the threats or the difficulties in presenting Krishna consciousness in this day and age, but ultimately it's the will of the Lord. Everything depends on the will of the Lord. It does not depend. To a certain extent we have to make the effort, no doubt. But ultimately it depends on the Lord's mercy. He may be reciprocating for their endeavor. But it's His plan. He has Himself declared that Patipati Ashiyati Nagara. In every town and village of the world the holy name will be heard and chanted. And again, my rather exhausted, subtle and gross body at the moment, I can't recollect sources and details too much. The prediction is there that at this point of time, for the next 9,500 years, Krishna consciousness will continue to grow, maybe dwindle, but it will still be present for the next 9,000 or 10,000 years on the surface in this world. So it's going on despite us. The Krishna consciousness will go on. Prabhupada said, even if you all leave, this movement will still carry on. It's not depending on us. Everything depends. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. Other living entities may appear to have great influence, but they're simply, for whatever different reasons it may be, for those who are in the material world, it's very hard for them to grasp, but the reality is everyone has a part to play. Even great reformers or destroyers, or people who are very violent, people who are very charitable. Everyone has their part to play in the totality of karma, the totality of the cumulative desires of the conditioned souls, and in this case the Lord's plan to give the conditioned souls their material desires an opportunity to become Krishna conscious. They said this is like a golden age within Kali Yuga, which will last another 9,500 years more. The golden age may not be manifested in terms of a radical change in the environmental situation, but it's actually, what is that golden age? It's giving everyone a chance, no matter what the situation, to come to Krishna consciousness. Whether you have a favorable environmental situation or not a favorable one, it's irrelevant in one sense. What counts is the awakening of Krishna consciousness, which is our constitutional eternal nature. It is not our nature to be in this material world, identifying with our bodies. That's the illusion, that's the asat nature, the temporary nature. Our real nature is Janananda, eternal, blissful, full of knowledge. And that's what we're aspiring for. And that's the world beyond this. And sometimes there's an opportunity to attain that state of realization, and particularly this moment of time, and it's a golden opportunity to attain that state of pure consciousness, the spiritual world. So we don't really think too much about the details there in the hands of the Lord. We just try to perform a service and depend upon His mercy. We're not the ones who will predict this or that, but the Lord Himself has said it, so we accept that that's the case. We tend to judge things according to our external vision, but that's not how it actually is to be judged. It's according to Guru, Shastra and Sadhu. So Guru and Shastra and Sadhu have said this. Krishna will carry on despite us. If I said, even if you all go away, the books are there, Krishna will carry on. Someone will come forward. So, Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai.
Have a great day today, wherever you're going. Wherever you're going. How many books did you distribute in your sleep last night? Anybody distribute books in their sleep? I do more books in my sleep than I do in the day, but a lot more. Sometimes I have huge book distribution days in my sleep, collecting money like rockets. To do with it all, then it all comes to an end. I wake up thinking, wow, I'm going to report those scores, and I realize it was a dream. To do. Anyway, even a dream of book distribution must be something good at least, even if it's a bit muddled up and a bit illusory, but something is there. Anyway, I remember, I don't know if it was loud, I wake up so many times a night, I don't know which day or night it is, which day it's from, but the last one I remember was distributing books in La Chapelle, you know the metro station there? La Chapelle, is that right? La Chapelle.
Yes.
Metro there. Another line, I don't know, two or something. Metro line. And outside there's, on the corner there's V junction, V like a path with like a V on the other side of the road. And there's an Indian store there. Right in front of that store we were distributing books. Where's Gopalananda? Did he distribute any books yesterday, Rasika? He gave him money.
Yeah.
Do books?
Yeah, he gave. Hard to exactly understand, but it seems.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Gopal.
Yeah.
If you need the translation, you can talk with Goranga Pranchilas because he speaks Tamil.
Same language.
I think this morning in the bathroom when I was washing my teeth, he sent me 21 Bhagavad Gita.
21.
Well, he took
But
20.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
about
but you can't really tell. He took 21 Gitas, but whether he sold them all is another thing. He's capable of it.
I went with him, he's very capable to do this.
Well, he went to some function yesterday, and I think that's where he just, That's another thing, dear devotees, men or women, please listen. When you do go to the bathroom, I presume you do go to the bathroom sometimes, to shower or to use the bathroom, please don't leave a mess behind. 3 days in a row I had to clean the sinks before brushing my teeth in the morning. And there's like bits and pieces and things on all kinds of